and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz. We're here for week 2 of the Super Trofeo series. It is race 1 at Indianapolis. My name's Nick, and I'm going to be taking you through proceedings this evening, which are about to kick off in roughly 2 minutes. So I'm going to keep this pretty short and brief. Hopefully the sound is coming through well for you. I had a bit of a muck around with it today, so hopefully, fingers crossed, sound is good. At Indianapolis, it's going to be a fun one. Last week we saw Matt Frost pretty much dominated both races. We were at Watkins Glen in race 1, and then we were at Laguna Seca in race 2. Race 1 was pretty sedate. It was pretty gentlemanly, if you like. They're not too sure what happened in race 2, but it was certainly gloves off and elbows out, and it was plenty of action around Laguna Seca last week. So that was good stuff. Hopefully that continues this evening. We've got another 12 cars in the field, which is good. We had 12 cars last week, so it was definitely quality, not quantity, which is what made it last week. So let's have a quick look at the Indianapolis circuit. It is 14 turns in total. It is roughly about 4-point-something kilometers. Great fun circuit in this car as well, especially down into turn 1. I anticipate we'll see quite a lot of overtaking opportunities through turn 1. Then it's through 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is quite twisty, technical part of the circuit. Then we should see some more overtaking opportunities down into turn 7. Even maybe into 5 and 6 as well, if they're getting a little bit adventurous. You do run quite wide through turn 6 there as well, so might even see some side-by-side action as they make their way through there this evening. And then turn 8 is, you think, oh, I'm out of the woods here, but then you go straight into a left-hander at turn 9, and then it does start to sort of ease up a little bit before completing a lap around the banking of the circuit. So that is the circuit, the Indianapolis circuit. Let's go and have a look at how things have proceeded so far. So as you can see, we're 2 minutes away from getting this one kicked off, but it's been this man here, Bruno Gallo. He wasn't here last week, so he's definitely made his presence felt. He's on the top of the times with a 1:40 flat. It's a pretty quick time around here. A lot faster than what I was doing the other night for a little bit of practice. Here we go. So we're about to kick off. So it's a 10-minute quali. And it's a 30-minute race. Here's James Pierre Reid. Was a bit unlucky last week. Not to step on the podium. He came 2nd and 3rd, so we'll see if he can get on the top step this evening as they're making their way out of the very, very long pit lane. And they're getting up to speed now. So 10-minute quali, pretty much nothing mandatory in this series either, so it's all pretty much sort of come as you are. Plenty of cars making their way out now. Who's that behind him? This is Chris Hildebrandt. He was here last week as well. I got him in my notes. So good to see him back again. As cars starting to fill the circuit. So here's Bruno Gallo. So he wasn't here last week, so we'll see what he has in store for us this evening. Who else do we have? Stephen Haycock. I believe he's returning as well. There you go. I got him in my notes from last week too. And then there was this man, Matt Frost, the 666, adorning his yellow and black with a splash of white Lamborghini. He was dominating. He got turned around in race 2 on lap 1, but managed to fight his way all the way back through the field and take victory as well. So it was a clean sweep for him last week. We'll see if he can make it 3 from 3 as we begin this one. Who else is out there? Wally Masterson as well. Now, it was raining in practice as well. see if we see any weather. I'm not too sure if it is scheduled to rain, but exciting if it does. Quite a few cars around here. Here's Nando Lattanzio. Sort of the camouflage there, if you like. Peter Wall's gone back. Who else is out here? Herbertron and James Pierre Reid is going to be the first driver to give us a time lap. Let's see how he goes around if I get everything sorted here. So yeah, hopefully you can hear me. The one person watching, thanks to one person. It's very nice of you. Alright, so here's Pierre Reid making his way through turn 6 now. So this is a short blast down the straight into the 90-degree left-hander of turn 7. She makes with no dramas. Oh, I spoke too soon. This is a fun part of the circuit where the car does change direction quite rapidly as well. So if you do get that right, it is a very satisfying feeling. And here's the part here where I saw you almost feel like you're out of the woods here. And you have this 90-degree right-hander. He runs really deep there. It's hard to pick up your braking marker as you come into that turn there. So we might jump off board with him. We'll go to the man behind him. This is Chris Hildebrand. Let's see what he's got in store for us. He is on a time lap right now. A 140 flat was the best time in qualifying. Let's see if we can get anywhere near that. He goes a 141.5, so not a bad time to get started with. Here's Bruno Gallo. So his first time out in this series. Let's see what he can do. He goes a 139.8, so he indeed goes faster than what we saw in free practice. What's this man? The two-time race winner from last week. That's only 5-minute qualifying tonight, not 10-minute qualifying. There you go. Shows how much I'm paying attention. Matt Frost, he goes top of the times. 6.23. Where are you? 6.23. There you are. James Mack, RAM champion. And plenty of cars. Oh, who's that in the wall? I think that is Peter Wall in the wall. Wall by name, wall by nature right there. Here's Anthony Cesana. So it's Matt Frost, Bruno Gallo, Nando Lattanzio, Neil Fateney, Herb Atron, Stephen Haycock, Chris Hildebrandt, Wally Masterson. I don't think he managed to set a time. James Pierre Reid couldn't get a hot one down there. No, he did. A 142, I think it was. Anthony Cesana goes into P3. So he's feeling it right now. What about this man here? He gets his braking marker right that time. James Pierre Reid. So he's currently sitting in P10 right now. Oh, it's Burrow Dog who's watching. Thanks, Burrow. See, I always knew that you're a nice guy. You're a good bloke. Here's James Pierre Reid in P10. Moves up to P3. Very nice. Let me know if it's coming through nice and clear as well, Burrow. I've made sure I've checked the sound settings. Here's Stephen Haycock. He's currently sitting P8. Qualifying's over. These guys they're going to just get in by the skin of their teeth to complete their qualifying. Here's Herb Atron. He's currently sitting in P8 right now. He is on a timed lap. Let's see if he can move up off the 4th row of the grid as he hits the line. And he does. He goes into P7. Nice work from him. Who's that coming at the back? That's Wally Masterson. He goes up into P10. So there's our grid, everyone, for race 1 of week 2. Well, race 3, actually, of race 3 of 4. But in week 2, Bruno Gallo, Matt Frost, James Pierre Reid, Neil Fakeney, Stephen Haycock. That's your top 5. Nando Lattanzio, Anthony Cesana, Herb Atron, Chris Hildebrandt, Wally Masterson, Peter Wall, and James Mack, bringing up P12. Thank you very much, Burrow, for the thumbs up on the sound. That is fantastic. That is music to my ears. All right, everyone. So that is qualifying done. Exciting little grid here. We will be back very, very shortly with the opening race of week 2. This is Indianapolis, race 3 of 4. Series concludes tonight. Be back very, very shortly. Alright, here we are. We are back, everyone. Alright, let's bring all that up on the screen. Let's get over here. Beautiful. Alright, so now I want to point out something here. It's really cool, actually. So no, I can't do it. I can't. What am I trying to do here? F7. Anyway, so see the row of bricks. Obviously, the circuit of the name of the circuit is fondly known as the Brickyard, because it obviously used to be all bricks before it was paved. But as you cross over the line, it makes a little bump. You can feel the bricks as you drive over them every time you cross the start-finish line. So it's a little attention to detail thing, which is pretty cool. As everyone is heading off, so there's our pole sitter, Bruno Gallo. So he went faster than he did in free practice. So he's definitely feeling very good about himself. Matt Frost is not going to have it all his own way this evening like he did last week. He's going to have a pretty stern challenge here from Gallo, and he's got his mate from last week, James Pierre Reid. Just couldn't quite get on the top step of the podium. So we'll see if he can rectify that this evening. I know he was pretty keen to do so. Had some cracking battles with Matt Frost. So the good thing was that the racing was really competitive last week, actually. It was quite entertaining, especially race number 2 around Laguna Seca. That was a lot of fun. So we're going to do Coda later this evening. I don't think the drivers will enjoy that as much as Indianapolis. I found Indianapolis to be much more enjoyable. Coda, there was a lot of chat about people struggling to put in valid laps around there, especially through that first part of the circuit, which is supposed to replicate, I think, the Beckett's complex at Silverstone. So a lot more technical. I found it not as enjoyable in this car around Coda than I did Indianapolis. This was a much more enjoyable circuit, but to each their own. Stephen Haycock is going to start in P5. Nando Latanzio, we will certainly not be able to miss him. He's going to be starting on the grid from P6. So he was from last week. He raced last week, Nando. Pretty sure he did. Anyway, he's backed in. I know Anthony Cesana certainly did. So he's going to be getting this race from P7. On the grid there, Herb Atron begin the race from P8. But yeah, I hadn't seen this person's name until last week, Chris Hildebrand. So he had a pretty good showing. He'll be starting this one from P9. Here's Wally Masterson in the Papaya Lamborghini, very McLaren-esque, if you like. James Mack, who runs a very McLaren-esque livery. Well, he did in the normal league. He's going to start from P11, and in the pits there's going to be Peter Wall. I think he might have been having some sort of connection issues. But anyway, we're about to get this one started. 45 minutes of Indianapolis is about to begin. There it is. And looked like it was a pretty good start there from Gallo. James Pierre-Reid making a little bit of ground. Fakeney in there as well. They're going to file into turn one here. It's a hard, heavy braking zone. Frost looking to go around the outside. Runs a little bit wide there, but nothing too major. So he slips in behind Gallo. James Pierre-Reid's in there as well. Neil Fakeney got a good start. Stephen Haycock, he's in there. Oh, that was a couple of guys. I think that was Hildebrandt and Herb Atron swapping positions there in P8 and 9, I do believe. Wally Masterson and Peter Wall. But it's this man here on screen, Bruno Gallo. He's made a great start to begin this one at Indianapolis. So he's leading from Matt Frost, James Pierre-Reid, who looked like he was coming under a little bit of attack there from Neil Fakeney. He's definitely going to keep him honest in the opening minutes of this one. Oh, and Pierre-Reid runs a little bit wide. He's going to go try and retake that position around the outside from Fakeney. And then in the meantime, he makes a little bit of contact with Haycock there. No harm, no foul. And they'll continue racing, and they're going to race hard. So the vibe from Laguna Seca has kind of continued on here into Indianapolis. Oh, who's that with the massive send? That was Hildebrandt. That was huge. Let's have a look at that again. Here we go. Oh, that is a big send. And he hits the Tanzio and almost collected, I think, Herb Atron there on the re-entry. So we're back live. So Gallo from Matt Frost. They're already just creating a little bit of a gap between themselves and Neil Fakeney in P3 and Stephen Haycock in P4. But Matt Frost certainly has a challenge on his hands this week. Opening moments of this one. We've still got all 12 cars going, facing around the right way, which is always a good thing. Here's Fakeney. Should probably put some race gaps there, shouldn't I? There we go. Oh, James Mack down there in P9. So, that was Hildebrandt just ran a little bit wide there. So that's too easy for James Mack. He's able to slip through. And now Hildebrandt is going to have Masterson on the back of him very, very shortly. But it's a second the gap between Gallo and Frost out in front. Seems like everyone's managed to settle into this one. Peter Wall, he is running at the rear. So he started from the grid, the number 17. That's his progress, so we'll track him throughout the evening. But in the meantime, it's Bruno Gallo leading from Matt Frost. We'll start to see the lap times once they filter in. What the sort of pace is looking like. So he did a 140 flat in qualifying. His first flying run is a 38.7. 38.8 from Matt Frost as well. So conditions are fast. Track temperature is 28 degrees. Air temperature is 21 degrees, as you can see on the screen. So, perfect conditions. Can't see any rain here that we did see in practice either. So, these guys will be hoping that holds off for now. But the gap pretty steady between Gallo and Frost at 1.3 seconds. Might have a look at Pierre-Reid. So, he's dropped a few spots. To open up this one, so he's dropped down 2 spots. So from third, as I say that, he moves up 1. So he gets past Haycock. Haycock going to try and argue the point here. This is an overtaking opportunity if he can send it down the inside. No, he can't. So stayed with that. Too late for the replay. But Haycock will do his best to try and now take that spot back from Pierre-Reid. In the meantime, though, he's going to have to fight off this man here, Anthony Cesana. So he went about 3/10 quicker on that last lap than Stephen Haycock, only the first time lap, so we don't have too much data yet. Oh, Pierre Reid, he runs wide again. That's at turn 12. So he had a little bit of difficulty with that in qualifying, and it's carried over into the race in this occasion. So not exactly having the best start to this one. He is in P4, so we've got plenty of time to go though. Plenty of time left in this one. So he'll just work himself into a rhythm. Who's that? That's Atron and James Mack. Oh, that is a nice move from Mack, but see, if you're going around the outside there, you can get the inside line again. Tricky part of the circuit here. Mack taking a much tighter line through there, and you can see the cars running quite wide. And this part of the circuit here, this left-hander, then another left and then the right. This is that change of direction. Mack trying to send it up the inside. There they're going to run it down into turn 7. So Mack just not able to make up that ground. He's going to have to keep one eye on the front, one eye at the back, with Hildebrandt starting to lurk up behind him. Gap out in front is 1.3 seconds now, so Gallo just inching a little bit further away from Frost. We'll keep an eye on that battle. In the meantime, we're looking at Herb Atron, James Mack and Chris Hildebrandt. They're P7, 8 and 9. Looks like Hildebrandt's got a little bit of damage. Not a little bit of damage, just a little bit of scuffed paint, if you like, from that big send in the opening laps of this one. They're going to make their way down the straight, over the bricks, so over they go. Hey, Stu Barkley, what's going on? Mitchell Weston's here as well. What is happening, Mitchell Weston? What's happening, Stu Barkley? Hope everyone's well. As we watch Hildebrandt and Mack now. There's Mack. So he's having a bit of a look here, James Mack. Oh. So you'll have to go around the outside. But this could be okay though. This could work out for him, because they're going to shoot down this little short straight into turn 7. If he holds his line here, he will have the inside line for the corner. And yeah, he gets it done. Nice move, James Mack. I just have to hold that now. Oh, look at that. Chris Hildebrandt, he makes his way through too. So Herb Atron, he goes from P7 to P9 in the blink of an eye. And James Mack got that move done very nicely. So he moves up into P7. Hildebrandt 8th, Herb Atron in P9. This is the closest battle we have out on the circuit. So it's 2 seconds now, the gap between Bruno Gallo. And as I say that, he just sets the fastest lap at 1:38.5. So he's pumping him in right now. He's feeling very good out there. Track temperature is still 28 degrees, still classified as fast. Not much wind. I'm good, Stu. I hope you're well as well. It's a nice little scrap here. 7th, 8th and 9th. The gap has gone down to 1.8 seconds. We'll just skip away, have a quick look. This is what it looks like on track. Matt Frost chasing down Bruno Gallo there. Let's have a look at some lap times. So the last one around was, the fastest from Gallo, the fastest lap of the race, in fact. A 38.5 to a 39 flat, so half a second the difference between those two. Matt Frost has done a 1:38.8 as his fastest lap of the race as well. So he's got his work cut out for him right now. Matt Frost, double race winner from last week. He's got plenty to do, but I reckon he'll be relishing the opportunity to battle it out with Bruno Gallo, one of the trusted driver panelists for the upcoming season as well. usually runs a Brazilian sort of themed livery, is Pierre Reid. Just having a little bit of trouble there with turn 12 this evening. Just can't quite seem to get it right. So hopefully he can. We might slip back to Hildebrand. He's 4/10 behind James Max. This is where the action is on track. So looking from the rear of Mack now is Hildebrand. Oh, makes up a lot of ground. Makes up too much ground, in fact. And runs into the rear of James Mack. Let's have a look at that again. And just couldn't quite pull it up in time. Turns Mack around. And we're back to live pitches. So unfortunate there for James Mack. He's going to have to work his way back from P11. We're 10 minutes into this one. So he has plenty of time up his sleeve to work his way up the grid there. A bit disappointing though, because that was one of our closest battles on track. That now belongs to this man here, Nando Latenzio. So he also had a little run-in with Hildebrand in the early stages of this one, as we see the flames belching from the back of that Lamborghini. It's a V10, I believe, as well, this engine. 280 kilometres top speed. Fun to drive. If you haven't driven it yet, oh, that's a very liberal amount of curve that he took there. But yeah, if you haven't had a chance, they're a lot of fun actually. I quite enjoyed it. Very steady. Not the most agile though, I will admit that. So sort of steering that front end, getting that to turn was a bit of a challenge at some stages, which is why I think that's probably why I didn't enjoy Coda as much as I enjoyed Indy as the Tanzio continues on. He's chasing down Herb Atron, so the last lap around there, Atron was a 141.3, a 140.4 for Tanzio, so he's got a bit of pace on him right now. His best lap's a 139.4. Herb Atron is a 141.1, so we'll see how this starts to develop. Gap out in front, kind of holding now. It's actually gone down a sewer. No, there it is, 1.8. Masterson. What is happening here with him and James Mack? Let's see if we can pick up something on the replay. Oh no, and he'd already come undone there. So not too sure what happened to him, but he finds himself down in there in P11 for the 1111. So plenty of work left for him. Gap inching down a little bit further, 1.5 seconds now to Frost. That last time around he was faster, in fact. Let's see what it comes out this time, but a 39.3 to Bruno Gallo, a 39.2 to Matt Frost. So let's see what it is this time, a 39 flat, a 38.9. Whew. Alright, so this is looking good. There you can see the times up there. Matt Frost really picking up the pace now. We'll obviously have two full races more experience in Gallo, having raced in the two races last week. So he'll have a little bit more experience under his belt. We'll see if that comes to his advantage later in this one. But we're looking at James Pierre Reid and Neil Fakeney. So this is for P3 and 4. Pierre Reid trying to get himself back up into that podium position. He finished no lower than third last week. He was in contention for the race win, but unfortunately he turned it around. I think at turn 5, I think the left-hander at Laguna Seca, and unfortunately it was all of his own doing, which is the worst part about it. But let's see if he can change his fortunes this week. Track has now gone to optimum. So it's 28 degrees track temperature still 21. 2 kilometres wind speed. Don't see any rain on the forecast either at this stage. So that's probably looking like it's going to hold off for now at least. We might see some development late in the race. But in the meantime, we're going to watch these two go at it. James Pierre-Reid and Neil Fakeney. Let's have a look at lap times. Well, we'll check them out once they come across the line here. They cross the line of bricks. And what do we got? So a 140.3 to Pierre-Reid, a 140.2 to Fakeney. So ever so slight advantage there to Fakeney. Ooh, what's happened here with Hildebrandt and Lattanzio? Ooh, Lattanzio sneaking down the inside there at turn 1. Let's see how that developed. Here we go. So very, very common spot of the track to overtake. Nice and safe. Just able to break that a little bit later and get the job done. So he moves himself up into P7, Nando. So he's having a good time of it. James Mack is all over the rear of this man here, Herb Atron. They're in 9th and 10th respectively. Oh no, Herb! He's run wide. He's run off the track. Let's see how that came about there. Oh, he's almost like sort of understeered off the circuit there. So maybe just maybe broken concentration, maybe, not too sure, but he's dropped down into P10 for now in this one. Hildebrandt, he's been in plenty of action. He's in P5 right now, the 555. Lots of triples I've noticed. 555, 666. Anyway. So he's chasing down Lattanzio, who his last lap was a 40.1. Hildebrandt was a 40.6. So Lattanzio certainly has the pace. We'll see how this lap develops. In the meantime, 1.5 seconds. We'll skip across to James Pierre-Reid because he is all over the back of Neil Fakeney. Have a look at this. They're going to go side by side here. And I reckon Pierre-Reid just started to settle into this one. The pace on that last lap as well. Oh, Pierre-Reid just getting a little bit overzealous there. A 40 flat to a 39.8. So 2/10 in favour of Pierre-Reid there. That's the gap on track. That's what 1.1 seconds looks like. 1.6 seconds now the gap between Gallo and Frost as well. So that's our leaders right now. Using all of the curb. That's the quickest way through there. It's a fun sequence of turns. And then this sweeping right-hander where you can just really open it up. And it's hard on the brakes, so it's as brake as late as you dare. And we've seen Pierre-Reid have a few problems through there. Goes a little bit deep there, but nothing too dramatic. And I reckon he'll just be shaping up to Fakeney now. Just waiting to pick his moment. Lap times. There we go. A 40.6 to Pierre-Reid, a 40.292 to Fakeney. So he's just got the edge right now on James Pierre-Reid. Stephen Haycock has himself a moment into turn 1. No one else around, so not too sure what was happening with that. But back to the battle that we're looking at earlier. This is Pierre-Reid and Neil Fakeney as we go on board with Pierre-Reid now. Part of the circuit where you can run nice and wide through there. Using the curb on the outside there on the entry, just kisses the apex. Yeah, you've got to be careful right there, because if you drop a wheel on the dirt, it will turn you around. So you've got to be quite calculated. You can use plenty of that curb as well. Let's see if he takes this flat. easy. This is where he struggled a little bit. Oh, he pulls it up. Oh! Closes right up under brakes to fake near. Just a little short shift out of there. Oh, just come off the throttle a little bit there, as you can hear. They go across the line, you'll feel a little vibration there. They go across the bricks. And a 140 flat to fake me, a 140.2 James Pierre-Reid. So this is a nice little scrap here. Got 24 and a half minutes left. Plenty of time. .5 seconds is the gap now between Gallo and Frost. So sort of holding the last lap around with a 39.1 to Gallo, a 39.27 to Matt Frost. So Gallo just having the edge there, as Pierre-Reid just trying to work out a way past Fakeney, who's done a great job of holding him off so far. He'll obviously be feeling a little bit of pressure, so he's been able to absorb it, not make any mistakes, and defend his position well. So this has been a pretty even battle between these two. And Fakeney looking pretty good right now. He'll definitely want a nice little podium. There's Pierre-Reid. Oh, he takes a different line through there. Unsettles the car a little bit as he clatters into the curbing. Short shifting into second. Came off the throttle a couple of times through there. And I think Nando has gotten past. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Oh, that was Haycock who ran a little bit deep there. So it's his turn. We've seen Pierre-Reid struggle through there too, and Haycock is no different. Let's get back to Pierre-Reid though. So he and Fakeney, probably the best scrap out there. 1.5 seconds, as I've mentioned, is the gap between these two. So having a look at the position delta. So James Mack up 3. Herb Atron down a couple. Stephen Haycock down a couple. And the two cars out in front, they haven't moved. Neither is Nando Latenzio. So he started in P6, and that is where he remains for now. So no pit stops in this one, so there's not much strategy. It's just go to work. It's who can go the fastest, the longest, without making mistakes. And Neil Fakeney has not put a foot wrong so far. He's been able to keep this man behind him the whole time. As they've gone over halfway now. Been good fun. Alright, let's get back into it here. So Latenzio and Haycock, they're still scrapping it out right now. It says a 1.3 second difference between those two. Haycock certainly not close enough to get a little bit of a draft here from Latenzio and launch an attack into turn 1. We'll ride with him as he completes the corner. There we go. I think that was just where someone threw something onto the track there. And Schumacher and... Oh, what was it? 2005, I think it was. The Bridgestone debacle. Haycock just puts a wheel on the grass there. Nothing too major there. Gap once again, out in front, is 1.5, but it is much closer between these two. Pierre-Reid, probably the closest we've seen him for the entire evening. He's all over the rear wing of Neil Fakeney. He will start to feel some of this pressure for sure. His mirrors will be full of the green, white and yellow, the Subway-esque livery of Pierre Reid. But just can't quite get close enough out of that final turn. Can't seem to. We saw him a couple of times, just wasn't able to put the power down. Just had to come off it a couple of times through there. So perhaps just struggling through that part of the circuit. In terms of lap times, last time around a 1:39.59, so a high 39.5 to Pierre Reid. Fakeney did a 39.6, so Pierre Reid a little bit faster that last time around. That does count for something, considering how close these are, how evenly matched the two drivers have been. But Fakeney doing a good job of keeping Pierre Reid behind him. In the meantime, I think Hildebrand is lurking behind Haycock here and Lattanzio. So this is Lattanzio 6th, Haycock 7th, Hildebrand 8th. Looked a little bit closer on the leaderboard there than what it is on the circuit. Still have all 12 runners. I'm pretty impressed with that. Good work to everyone. Had 12 runners last week as well, so as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it was certainly quality, not quantity. As Haycock now is having a little bit of a look here at Lattanzio. So last time around for these two, it was a 42.6 to Haycock, a 43.2 to Lattanzio. So Haycock just had the better of Lattanzio on the last one around. Let's see what this brings. A 140 flat, a 140.6 to Haycock. So whatever it was that Lattanzio did, he didn't repeat it. He's gone quicker. So he's holding his position there in P6. I believe that's where he did start the race. That's where he remains for now. With 17 and a half minutes left, so we're well over the halfway mark. We're going to be beginning to close into the final third of this one here. Track's still at optimum. Air temperature 21, track temperature 27. No weather on the radar as Lattanzio just gets a couple of wheels on the dirt through there. And now it's Haycock. He's got Hildebrand just behind him. Just on board with Haycock here, using all the track and then some. He's got this man chasing him down. So that might give a little bit of breathing room to Lattanzio. The gap out in front, Gallo and Frost is 2.1 seconds. Pierre Reid is just fallen a little bit further away now from Fakeney. It's 1.3 seconds is the gap between those two. As we're on board with Haycock, he's got Hildebrand behind him. Makes a bit of ground up there, under brakes. Nothing doing this time around. I don't know if that was Hildebrand or even Lattanzio in front of him on the dirt there. Plenty of runoff area around here as well. We did see that last week at Laguna Seca, where it's much more unforgiving. It's pretty much all desert. It's all dirt and gravel. Not much grass on the side of the track, so you put a foot wrong and it can be extremely punishing. Here, much more forgiving. Haven't really seen anyone come undone majorly. Everything's been pretty smooth sailing for everyone so far. As we're going to go into the final 15 minutes, so the final third of this one, it's Bruno Gallo leading from Matt Frost, Neil Fakeney. That's your podium. It's Gallo and Frost just out in their own little private battle. It's 1 second the difference now. Let's have a look at lap times here. Bruno Gallo, his last one around was a 39.6. 38.8 to Matt Frost, so significantly faster there from Frost, and also the best lap time too, but 138.717 belonging to Bruno Gallo, a 138.712 belonging to Matt Frost. So these two are slugging it out. They're going punch for punch right now between these two. So last week's double race winner Matt Frost wants to make it 3 on the trot, but Bruno Gallo has something to say about that. And can he hold off Frost for another 14 minutes to take out victory? We'll have to wait and see. Getting back to the rest of the field there, it was Neil Fakeney, as I mentioned. He's 20.9 seconds away from Matt Frost. But he has James Pierre-Reid for a little bit of company, who's 1.5 seconds. Anthony Cesana, he's nearly 10 seconds down the road. And almost a further 10 seconds behind him is Nando Atenzio in P6. Haycock is in 8th. Hildebrand is in... Haycock's in 7th. Hildebrand 8th. James Mack is 9th. Herb Atron 10th. Peter Wall 11th. And Wally Masterson. What a champ. Good job, Wally Masterson. Started from the pit lane. What a trooper. Still going around. Mate, give that man a golf clap. Time around 2, Frost was a 39 flat exact. 39.1 to Bruno Gallo, almost a 39.2. So Frost inching ever so close. We'll see. Can he make up enough ground to actually get in there and have a go at Gallo? He's got about 12 and a half minutes remaining to get it done. I'll just skip away from that for a minute. Here's Haycock. He's 1.3 seconds as the 10s there. Both of them get a little bit of dirt action on the exit there. What about James Pierre-Reid? So he's a second now behind Fakeney. So he's made up a little bit. Having a look at the lap times there, 39.9 to Fakeney, 140 flat to Pierre-Reid. So almost identical lap times. The pace is very, very similar between these two. So being a single make series, obviously it does come down a lot more to the driver. Obviously his setup as well. Two biggest determining factors, but we don't have to worry about things like BOP and beta cars and alpha cars and all that other malarkey. It's just driver versus driver. As we watch from the rear of Fakeney, hasn't put a foot wrong. Where did he start? Started in P4, so he and Pierre-Reid swap positions pretty early on too, so Pierre-Reid had to do all of the chasing as he did last week. Seemed to be all he was doing last week. He's chasing the back of Matt Frost, but this week it's the back of Neil Fakeney as he has another little stab. We've seen him do that a couple of times, make a couple of little lunges. Not of the leg exercise variety though. Making their way through this sequence of turns, the left, right hander into the sweeping right. sure we've seen Pierre Reid come unstuck a couple of times, but no such dramas there. He's all over it this time. Oh, he's got a nice run here. Does he have enough to have a go? I think he does. Oh, he has a look. Is he able to pull it up? He does. A little bit of contact there. That's just a bit of Rubbins racing. And nice move from James Pierre Reid. Let's see that again. And we see just the last moments of it there. So that little bit of contact at the end, but nothing really in that. And Pierre Reid moves himself up into P3. I reckon he'd be pretty happy with that move. That was nicely done from him. So it's all on Fakeney now. He's got less than 10 minutes, almost less than 9 minutes to go before this one's concluded. So he's going to have to get a move on. The boot, the shoe is firmly on the other foot now. Fakeney is going to have to turn it on. Having a look at the last laps around, a 39.6 to Pierre Reid, a 40.1 to Neil Fakeney. So Pierre Reid definitely has the upper hand in terms of pace in the closing stages of this one. Tell you what, for a 45-minute race, it's gone by pretty quick. I've got to admit that. Or maybe that's just me. I've definitely enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat. We've got a new season starting in a couple of weeks. Hope you're all excited about that. It's going to be a teams championship. That's interesting. So that kicks off on the 19th, Monday the 19th. So put it in your diary. Clear the decks. Get set for season 3 of the Race on Oz PC League. Looking forward to it. I reckon it's going to be pretty exciting. And hopefully the broadcasts go a little bit smoother. Oh no, what happened, Herb Atron? Let's see if we can pick some. Oh, he's run deep there. So we've seen Pierre Reid have that happen a couple of times tonight. And Herb Atron, we also saw someone else do that too. So that's Wally Masterson he's got in his sights, but Masterson is down in P12. But he's Fakeney. What's he got? A 40.2 was Pierre Reid the last lap around, of 41.4 to Fakeney. So Pierre Reid with a significant pace advantage on the last one around. No real chance of catching Frost. He's 24 seconds away. Speaking of Matt Frost, he's 2.3 seconds, 2.6 seconds now away from Bruno Gallo. So Bruno Gallo, so far, he's got all the... Oh, that was Fakeney pushing quite hard out of the final turn there. So he might be a little bit in desperation mode right now. You can feel this one slipping away from him as Pierre Reid puts in a 39.4 on that lap. Fakeney was a 140.082, so half a second the difference between the two cars on the last lap around. Oh no, Pierre Reid! Oh, has he done it again? He did this last week. He threw away a potential race victory, and Fakeney's gotten through. Let's see if we can pick it up. I got it right at the very end. Oh, damn it. That would have been so good. But Fakeney, just when he was looking like he might be out of contention, he's back again. Now it's his turn to try and hold Pierre Reid up one more time. He's got 5.5 minutes left on the clock to do so. So Pierre Reid, with a late race mistake, ran a little bit deep there, and that was enough to unsettle him and let Fakeney walk through. Didn't need to be asked twice to do that one. So nice work there to Neil Fakeney. Fakeney might have gone a little bit deep there, but all under control. That's the gap between the two of them. This is for P3. This is for the final podium spot. It's 2.1 seconds the difference. 2.4 in fact between Gallo and Frost. But we're looking at the battle for P3 between Fakeney and Pierre Reid. Can he launch an attack down the front straight into turn 1? Is he close enough? No, he's not. Probably a wise decision there. Does make up a little bit of ground late there under brakes between him and Fakeney. But this is good stuff. We had good racing through the previous 2 races. This is race 3 of 4. We're going to kick off race 4 a little bit later, after 10 o'clock. Might be a little bit beyond some people's bedtimes with early finishes and all that. So you can watch it on replay when it's all said and done. But if not, join us live. I think we're kicking off at about 10 past 10. It's pretty late for me even. So Fakeney, one job. Hold this man behind him, James Pierre Reid, and he can hang on for a very, very, very well-earned P3. And in the meantime, just perusing through the remaining of the field. Pretty well spread out now. We've still got all 12 runners. That's a credit to them. Well done to everyone. And Bruno... Oh, no! Fakeney! He ran deep! Was that where Pierre Reid did it on the last lap? Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, we've seen so many cars there. We've seen Pierre Reid do the exact same thing. So it's these two, both having made late race mistakes. We have 3 minutes remaining. Fakeney popped out of the draft there, threatening to have a go into turn 1, but pulls out of it, thinks better of it. And these two having a great ding-dong battle. This is for P3 and 4. This is for the final podium spot. And it's still all to play for with just over 2.5 minutes remaining. This is race 3 of 4 of the series. It's only a 2-week series. We're wrapping this thing up in about a little bit later this evening. We're going to be at Circuit of the Americas. Looking forward to that one. But we're going to finish this one off first. Bruno Gallo. He's in firm control of this one. He was 2/10 faster on that last lap around between him and Matt Frost. So he has this one well in hand. But Pierre Reid, he's going to have to fight all the way to the bitter end to keep Neil Fakeney behind him. Will either one of these guys make another mistake? We're going to find out. This is where we saw it in the last lap. No such dramas this time around. They'll both have their hearts in their mouth as well when they come through there the next time. So we might even be on the final lap shortly, or maybe one more after this one. Oh, I think Fakeney ran a little bit wide. No. Has dropped back a fair bit from Pierre Reid, so that is not what he wants at this stage as we're embarking on the final 70 seconds of this one. And Pierre Reid is in P3. Will he be there at the end of the race? We're going to find out very shortly, as surely we would be just having a look at where Gallo is. Will we get one more lap? I reckon we will. It's looking like it at this stage. So just keep a close eye on that while we keep this on the screen. It's going to be pretty close. We'll just kick over to him. Yeah, so this will be the final lap. Here we go. So about another 20 seconds left. So there it is. There's the gap between those two. Frost just kisses the wall there. So he makes his way onto the front straight. So that's the gap between those two. Haven't seen too much of Bruno. He's been pretty controlling all the way out in front. Put it on pole, got the fastest lap, and has led every single lap of this one. 27 that they've done. He's led every minute of this one. Let's rephrase that. And Pierre Reid and Fakeney, they've swapped positions again. Oh no, it was the same spot too. So that part of the circuit, neither driver has been comfortable with. And it's Fakeney now in P3. He's got this man behind him, Pierre Reid. Will we see one more position swap to finish this one? Wow, he's got 3/4 of the lap left to see off the challenge from James Pierre Reid. There's Bruno Gallo. I'll keep an eye on him as well as Pierre Reid runs a little bit wide through there, doing his absolute best to try and get past Fakeney, and that's the gap. That's what he's got in front of him now. I'll stay with this for as long as I can. Oh, Fakeney! Oh no, what happened, Fakeney? No, hang on, Bruno Gallo, he's going to cross the line. I don't know what happened to Neil Fakeney, but he's pulled up. Congratulations, Bruno Gallo, he takes victory. Matt Frost in P2, well done to him. James Pierre Reid, he is going to finish this lap. He'll come home in P3. What's happened to Neil Fakeney? I'm not too sure. I didn't see anything. I can't see any damage on there. Whoops. But here's Pierre Reid. He's having a little bit last lap dramas there as well for him. So he is going to come onto the start-finish line and take P3. Congratulations to James Pierre Reid. Well done to him. Anthony Cesano, we barely saw you this evening. Well done on a P4. Congratulations to him. Nando Latenzio, he comes home in P5. Stephen Haycock, he's going to come home in 6th position as he crosses the line. Congratulations to him. James Mack, he'll earn 7th spot. Well done to him. Fakeney's in the pits. Not too sure what happened to him there at the end of the race, but he's in the pits now. Hildebrandt, he's in 8th near where was he? Peter Wall. Hey, he moved himself from last to 9th. Good job, Peter Wall. There you go. That's perseverance overcoming resistance. Is it persistence over resistance? Well done to him. Herb Atron in 10th, and Wally Masterson is going to finish down there in P12. But that wraps up race number 3 of 4. The winner is Bruno Gallo. So congratulations to him. Matt Frost in P2 and James Pierre Reid taking out another podium. That's his 3rd podium in a row. Matt Frost, he had 3 podiums in a row now. And Bruno Gallo, he's 1 from 1. Can he make it 2 from 2? Well, you will have to wait and see. We now will be heading off to Circuit of the Americas, and that's going to be starting at roughly, I think, like 10 past 10 or something. It's on the YouTube channel. If you can't watch it live, watch it on replay. But until then, stay safe, look after yourself,